to Everyday Linux User. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to install Debian. So here's the Debian website. Just go to debian.org, and the website is vastly improved since the last time I used Debian. There's a big download button. This hasn't been prominent. It used to be a really messy page, but this is much cleaner. It says thank you for downloading Debian. This is Debian Bullseye, and here's the net install ISO. So the way Debian works is that you install a small ISO, and then as you're installing the operating system, you choose what you want as you go along. So it's not like other distributions like Ubuntu, where you're given you have to have this desktop or you have to have this desktop. You choose. So I'm going to click on this ISO here. And you see it's a lot smaller. It's only 389 megs. Most of that is actually the installer. So now that's installed down in the bottom left corner, we need to write it to a USB drive. We could use Etcher, but I'm going to click here because it's got some more instructions, and it says there's the Win32 disk imager program available, which allows writing. So we're going to use that today. So if you click on that link, and then we click download, and then we're going to click on the executable. I'm going to minimize the web browser now because we don't need that anymore. So accept the license agreement, click next, choose the installation path, default would be fine, just click next there, and you can create a desktop shortcut so you can use it again in the future, and then click install. And you can read me if you want. You can launch it directly from here, or if you created a desktop shortcut, you can use the desktop shortcut. That's that one up there. I'm going to let it launch. So Win32 disk imager, you pick your file to download. You have to change that from image to asterisks, and then you pick Debian. Pick where you're writing to, in my case the D drive. Make sure that is the correct drive, and then click write. It's going to say that are you sure you want to continue? Click yes, and then it's going to write to the drive. Okay, so boot up your computer and press the function key to get into the boot menu, and then you're looking for your boot drive. In my case, I've got this SanDisk Cruiser, and then for Debian you get either graphical install or just install, so I'm going to go for graphical install. So here we are at select language, so I'm going to choose English and then click continue, and then it says select your location, so I'm going to choose United Kingdom. Configure the keyboard, I'm going for British English. Now it's detecting my drives for determining where to install Debian. It's detecting my network hardware. It says some of your hardware needs non-floppy firmware to operate. The firmware can be loaded from removable media such as a USB stick or floppy drive. And it tells you what the missing firmware files are. If you have media available, set it now. I don't, so I'm going to select no. And this is going to be for my Wi-Fi driver. Click continue. I am connected via Ethernet, so I can continue. And enter the host name for this PC, so I'm going to call it Gary Debian. Click continue. And then you can configure the network. You can just make something up here, so again I'm going to call it Gary Debian. .sco. I'm in Scotland. So now you can enter a root password. And then you've got to type in the same thing again. Click continue. Now you can create a user account, so give your user account a name. So in this case I'm typing Gary. And then username for your account, Gary again. And then you're choosing a password. then click continue. So now you can choose how you're going to set up the disk. Because I'm installing to the entire drive and I'm replacing my operating system, I'm just going to do guided using the entire disk. If you wanted to do dual boot, what you would need to do is make a empty partition. I've got other guides showing you how to do this, and then you choose guided using the largest continuous free space. But this is an installation guide as if you're using the entire disk, replacing any other operating system, etc. So I'm going to do guided use entire disk, and you choose the disk that you want to put it on. So mine is this MMC. So click continue. And then you can choose whether to have all files in one partition, which is for new users, or you can have a separate home partition. Basically, that means all your system files will go into your root partition, and all your documents and settings will go into your home partition if you do a separate home partition. I'm actually just going to go for all files in one partition. And this is telling you what it's going to do. And so you can undo changes if you don't want to do this anymore. Make sure you've backed up your computer. This will delete everything off the drive that you're installing to. And there's no guarantees of getting anything back if you continue without backing up first. Finish partition and write changes to disk, and then click continue. And it's telling you once more that this is it. This is the last point of no return. I'm going to click yes, and then click continue. It's now installing the base system. Coming to the end of that now, and now it's configuring the package manager. So this is, you basically choose your closest point on here. So United Kingdom in my case, click continue. And these are the mirrors you can choose. I'm just going to stick with the one that's there, click continue. If you use a proxy server, then you have to enter the information now. Otherwise, for most people, it's clicking continue. Now it's configuring the package manager, which is apt. You're now at the point where you're going to be able to select and install the software you require. So it's unlike other distribution setups where you're given a pre-selected set of applications. With Debian, you get to choose as part of the install what you get. You can participate in a usage survey. I'm going to say no to this and click continue. So now we're at the screen where you can choose your desktop environment. There's GNOME, XFCE, KDE Plasma, Cinnamon, Mate, LXDE or LXQT. I'm going to go for the Cinnamon option. You can actually have more than one, so there's GNOME and Cinnamon, XFCE. So I'm just going to go Cinnamon for now. You can install another one later on, and I'll have a separate guide for this, but I'm going to go Cinnamon. I've done enough guides on GNOME, so I'm going to do Cinnamon, and I'm going to click continue. And now it's retrieving and installing the files. After it's downloaded the package, it will start unpacking them and installing them into your system. This part of the installation process can take a while, so you can go and take a break and do something else and come back in about 20 minutes. Once it's finished installing software, configuring ManDB, etc., you get the cleaning up, and then we move on to the next step, which is to install the Grub bootloader. And now we're finishing the installation, setting up users, etc. So now it says installation is complete. It's time to boot into your new system. Make sure to remove the installation media so that you boot into the new system rather than restarting the installation. So take out the USB drive, click continue. And then you can see the club menu, Debian Linux. It automatically logs in if you don't press the keyboard quick enough. And here we are at the login screen. So I can type in the username, type in my password, and there we are, Debian Cinnamon Edition. And that is the end of the video. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and click subscribe for more content from Everyday Linux User, where I'll show you how to set up Debian and install another desktop environment. Thank you for watching.